Hello and welcome to the Revolve Commercial Show. In this show, we take a deep dive into commercial property, conversations with experts in the field, education in commercial real estate, and I share examples of case studies of how to master good commercial acquisitions. My name is Mish Daniel, and I'm the founder of Revolve Commercial, where wealth revolves around you. We've worked with thousands of commercial property owners and have been best known for helping our clients to build wealth, earn great cash flow on autopilot through commercial real estate. If you're interested in speaking with our team to see how we can help you to get your wealth to revolve around you, go to revolvecommercial.com.au. Let's just head straight in. Eddie, thank you for sending your question in. You've asked me, what are the upsides of commercial real estate? Eddie, I'm assuming you're asking me what are the upsides of commercial real estate versus residential. I've done this quite a couple of times, and your biggest answer is that in commercial real estate, you don't pay the outgoing. So we talk about a net income. Your client, your tenant, pays the outgoings. So in residential, you'll talk about gross, where you will pay for the insurance, you'll pay for land tax, you'll pay for taxes, you'll pay for outgoings, repairs, maintenance, all that kind of stuff. In commercial, your tenants pay for 90% of that. They pay for the cost of the lease. The other advantage is that in commercial, you get nice long leases, you get incremental increases, which means that on an annual basis, your rental can be growing at between 4%, 5%, whatever the market is dictating at the time, per annum. You'll do a rental review at the end of your term, and 9 times out of 10, that's going to increase your value, and you can grow cash flow a lot quicker in commercial real estate. And strategies, if you're doing uplift strategies, if you're adding value, if you're charging for parking, or you're putting awnings up, or just putting an extra room in, or closing off extra space, you can be charging rental for that. So those are the advantages and those are the upsides of commercial real estate. So let's get that one out the way. And our next question is from Tony. And Tony, what is the best way to find new tenants? What is a HOA? Can you please explain how it works? Right. Okay. So, Tony, what is the best way to find new tenants? All right, Tony. So I'm assuming you've got a commercial property already and you're looking for tenants. First things first, the best way to find tenants is to speak to the agents in the area. All right. And what we do is slightly unconventional. Now, I like to work collaboratively. So I like to speak to as many agents as possible, and I want to find out who is the most active agent. Out of all of those agents, go onto rentals in that area and find out which agent comes up the most, because that is the agent that you're wanting to be working with for 2 reasons. Number one, they being the most active, and number 2, they'll have a larger database. Okay, and you can ask them. You can get those stats from them as well. What you can also do is ask the agents, what do they do besides putting an ad in real commercial or commercial real estate to find tenants? What else do they do to find you tenants? How creative are they? Okay. If it's a property that lends itself specifically to automotive, are they going to contact automotive dealerships and say, we have this property that would be perfect for you, and this is an opportunity to expand your business or place your business here or whatever it is. So that's one of the things that you're wanting to be finding out about your agents. Check your agents out, ask questions. What is their rate in terms of success rate? And you should be able to get most of that information by just doing some due diligence in the back end. Like I say, use the sites, all the commercial sites that you can, to check them out and read their reviews. Find out if they have reviews and read their reviews. Find out about them as well. Okay, Tony, your next question is what is an HOA? HOA is a heads of agreement. Now, a heads of agreement is a document that you're going to fill out, or that the tenant is going to fill out prior to doing a lease. So instead of doing a lease through a solicitor, and every time you make changes, you've got to go from one solicitor to another solicitor, it costs a fortune. So rather do all of your negotiating on pre-lease negotiation. So think of a heads of agreement as a pre-lease negotiation. So you're itemizing who the tenant is, what they are, where they are, how they're working, what type of work they're in, how stable they are financially, what are they prepared to put into it, what do they want? Do they want a fit out? Do they want incentives? Do they want free rentals? How stable are they as a business? What type of business are they? Which business are they going to be putting in there? Are they certified to be in those premises? So in other words, their certificate of currency, certification, you're wanting to be looking at all of that before you go into a lease. And a heads of agreement is basically the preliminary agreement before you actually go into the actual lease agreement. So have all your argy-bargy discussions on the lease, how that's going to work in the heads of agreement first. How you would work this is preferably through an agency. So work with your agent. The agent will be passing that to and from yourself to the tenant, negotiating the whole thing, negotiating your rates, negotiating your incremental increases, negotiating your rental reviews, at what stages, how long the lease is going to be, offering the tenant a longer lease or incentive to take a 5+5. You always want to get them on a longer lease as much as possible. So all of that is done via the agent right up front. Good question, Tony. Thank you for asking. Thank you for joining us on the Revolve Commercial Property Podcast. Don't forget to join our private Facebook group, Cashflow on Autopilot with Revolve Commercial, where we share weekly updates on positive cash flow commercial properties currently on the market and how to acquire them. So go to Cashflow on Autopilot with Revolve Commercial or www.revolvecommercial.com.au.